Welcome, my Love Light Lifers. Natty T here, your vibrational coach, and I help artists, freelancers, and entrepreneurs create using the law of attraction. Today, we are talking about 3 things you can do in under 2 minutes to raise your vibration. Before we get into that though, here's something for you. I'm going to be running a little bit of a comp very soon, in which you will be able to win your very own personal vibrational coaching session with me, which means that you'll get to work personally on certain things that you are trying to manifest. So if you're interested in winning a vibrational coaching session for yourself, then make sure that you hit that subscribe and the bell to be notified when that comp starts running. For now though, we're going to get into raising our vibration. Okay, 3 things you can do right now to raise your vibration in under 2 minutes. Believe it or not, it only takes less than 2 minutes to raise your vibration. Depending on where you are, that might just be enough to make you or help you feel better. If you're in a funk, if you are clinically depressed, then this is maybe going to help a little bit, but not hugely. However, it will help you if you can feel yourself slipping during the day and you need to get back on the horse. If something comes at you and it really kind of has you off kilter, you know, somebody plops some work on your desk that you weren't expecting, or you thought you had a week to finish this particular project and you've only got 3 days, whatever it is, it can help you to reset and to lift your vibration. And if you do these 3 things like a few times every day, you will find that if you make a habit of doing these things, they will actually help you to stay more stable in your vibration during the day. So let's get into number 1. Okay, the first thing that you can do if you're looking to raise your vibration in under 2 minutes is find 10 things around you right now that you can appreciate. What I mean by that is I want you to look around, and they don't have to be in the room. There's no rules. If you can find 10 things to appreciate that are good in your life, the only rule is you have to actually genuinely like it. Okay, it can be something as simple as, I've used this in the appreciation game. If you've seen my other video on that, in the appreciation game, same sort of thing. The only rule is it has to genuinely be something that you like. It can be something as simple as, I really like the color on that chair. It could be something as simple as looking out the window and seeing a cloud. It could be, I like the view from my desk, or I like the fact that I get to work from home, or it could be anything. But look around and find 10 things that you genuinely appreciate. It shouldn't take you any more than 2 minutes to do. But even if it's just, I like working with this software, or it might be that you have a picture of your children on your desk and you can appreciate them, you know, depending on how many kids you've got. You got 3 kids, you got 3 already. And the good thing about that is they're only pictures in a frame at that point, so they're not nagging you or annoying you. So don't go down that road and start thinking about, oh gosh, I have to help little Jason with his homework or whatever. Just, I love them. I appreciate that they're in my life. What are the good things that I got going for me right now? And don't worry about how great they are in comparison to everyone else or what anyone else would think about them. Do they lift your mood right now? Could you just sit and look at a cloud and go, hey, that's pretty, looks like fairy floss? If you can do that, put it on the list. You know, I find the more general the things are that you're wanting to appreciate, the better this works. So a plant on your desk, okay? If you're out and about, the trees, you know, the view, if somebody lets you in traffic, the color of that sign, the flower over there, really simple stuff can help. Even a breeze can be nice. The temperature of the room, it's a nice temperature in the room. I like the feel of this sweater that I'm wearing. Not that I'm not wearing one, but you know what I'm talking about. Anything that feels good. Very, very simple stuff. Don't try and get too complicated. I like the way that my lover smiles at me on a summer's eve when we're in Tuscany and the moonlight is shimmering off the... You don't have to go into... You don't have to get too specific. If that works for you, hey, there's no rule against using it. But you might find that when you get too specific like that, you more start to feel like, oh, I'm not with my lover in Tuscany on a summer's eve, and start feeling bad, which is the opposite feeling than what we want to have. So we want to be in the moment. We want things that are going to help us feel good right now. So really nice, simple things, and allow yourself to uncomplicate everything and just enjoy that. Also, make sure that you actually want to feel better, because sometimes we get into those funks where we don't want to feel better. We think that by feeling crappy, we are punishing the people who made us feel crappy, or that we don't deserve, or we're not allowed to feel good when crappy things are happening around us. The truth is, you can feel happy whenever you want, for whatever reason you want. In fact, you don't need a reason. It is your right to feel good, and you can feel good right now by appreciating some simple things around you. Let's move on to number 2. Okay, this one is really, really simple, and it takes 67 seconds. Okay, if you don't know the work of Abraham Hicks, then go and look them up because they're awesome. But what we're talking about here is a 67-second mark. So it takes 17 seconds, apparently it's getting shorter, for the law of attraction to start to get a hold of a thought. Okay, there's a little bit of time in between you having a thought and it gaining momentum. Why? Because every time you thought of something, if it appeared like that, then you wouldn't be able to think of an elephant without one crashing down on your head. Not particularly what you want all the time, is it? So how it really works is there's a little bit of time before the law of attraction will give you a little bit of leeway before it picks up what you're putting down. And then if you can get a little bit of momentum moving, then that momentum starts to move on its own and it gets going. This can take about 67 seconds. However, if you take 67 seconds and don't have much of a thought at all, or don't think about anything too important to you, or meditate, what will happen is the momentum will actually slow a notch. It will slow down a bit. You can do this for longer if you want, but 67 seconds is enough for you to bring your frequency back a notch in momentum. So you've got all these thoughts, the reason that they feel, the emotions on these thoughts may feel big and bad and bright and beautiful and all those really intense things, is because they've got lots of momentum. Slowing the momentum can help you to then turn, okay, or pivot. You may need to do it longer, but usually 67 seconds should do you enough to calm you down. At that point, you can choose a better perspective. So this is kind of like a mini meditation, and how it goes is this. If you need to get away, so you're in a public place, or you're at work, or you're somewhere where people are going to interrupt you, take a moment, go to the bathroom. You can do this at any time, even in the middle of a meeting. In fact, in the middle of a meeting, if you sit in the back, people probably won't even notice what you're doing. So what you'll do is, if you need to jog off to the bathroom so that nobody interrupts you, then you do that. Take a minute, close your eyes, take a big deep breath, and then I want you to count to 67 very slowly. But as you do it, I want you to keep your eyes closed, and I want you to imagine every single number in front of your eyes with them closed. So you're just imagining the number 1 when you say 1. And then I want you to imagine the number 2 appearing in front of your eyes when you say the word 2. All the way up till 67. You can go to 70, you can go to 80, whatever you feel like you need. But 67 seconds is kind of the benchmark. So I want you to keep going till you get to 67. Okay, if your mind wanders off, don't worry about it. Bring it back to the last number that you remember visualizing. So if you remember visualizing 14, but now you're at 38, you might want to go back to 14 and then keep going. Chances are, the more you do this, it will get less and less before you realize I'm off track. So 38 from 14, that's a big gap. After a while, you'll only be getting to 16 before you realize, hey, I'm off on a tangent. So the idea is, if you can get 67 clear seconds of no resistance, your body will start to calm, your mind will start to calm, and you should be able to put in a slightly better thought, a slightly better feeling thought. There's no better or worse thoughts, just better feeling thoughts. If you can slide a better feeling thought in there, then build on that. Be mindful of it. Be mindful of where you're placing your focus after you've done these exercises, because you can go back to your old frequency like that. These are taking you up a little notch. They are taking a little bit of relief off of your shoulders vibrationally. Okay? They're quick fixes to help you get through the day, and they're not going to completely realign you. You have to be aware of what you're doing with your focus after you do these things. These are just little helpers along the way to just boost you a little bit. And you can do them when you're feeling good and feel even better. Just because you're feeling good doesn't exempt you from being able to use these. Next, pivot onto a subject that you have good momentum on. So take 2 minutes, set a timer, and allow yourself to generally wander off on a subject that you like. If you love baseball, then wander off on the subject of baseball. Set the timer and allow yourself 2 minutes to just think delicious thoughts about whatever feels good to you. 2 minutes. And you don't have to feel bad about it. Like I said with the last one, if you need to go to the bathroom to be alone to do it, so people don't think that you're daydreaming at your desk, even though you are, take that 2 minutes, because that 2 minutes can help you to feel better. And what is happening here is you have a really good momentum going on a different subject. When you try to switch it back to what you were doing before, you'll probably find that the emotion will dip again. So what you're wanting to do is to address the old subject, spend 2 minutes thinking nice thoughts, then come back at the old subject with an attitude of, I can find a better way to think about this. I can find a better perspective on this. Even if you don't have it now, just that feeling of being able to shift it at some point should help you to feel a little bit better. and just keep looking for that perspective. Don't make the mistake with all of these particular little helpful processes. Don't make the mistake of being your worst enemy. In other words, if you decide that you don't want to, you won't. If you decide, if you start saying things to yourself like, I've got to go back and think about the crappy thing, well, that didn't work, did it? I felt good for 2 minutes and then it was over. 2 minutes is enough to start shifting momentum. It's not enough to completely shift the momentum, especially on those core beliefs. So you've got to be doing other stuff as well. You've got to be on your vibrational game, but these are just things that will help you through the day. And I hope that they have been helpful. I will see you tomorrow.